Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 213-640-9738. That's 213-640-9738. We aim to please, so expect 24/7 technical support, the latest premium software, instant software links delivered to your email, and PayPal buyer's protection guarantee.
The white supremacists use division as a weapon, dividing our families, our wealth, rewarding traitors, murdering heroes. Yet we survived. We fought for our reparations. Now it's our turn to divide and administer God's power. I am Agent Nuria Sellers, a foundational Black American. I promise that nothing will come between us. Buy the sci-fi novel, Nothing Will Come Between Us, available January 22nd. Pre-order online today at Amazon and Google Play. Spirit of1811publishing.com. Our story, our family.
My name is Black Ice.
And I'm Akis, and we're the Black Narrative.
We are a Black First and Hebrew Israelite channel on YouTube that broadcasts live every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every week, we discuss controversial issues and challenge false narratives that are fed to Black people through mass media. We share research through videos and encourage uncomfortable conversations amongst the Black community. Look up The Black Narrative on YouTube or go to our website, www.theblacknarrative.tv. Shalom.
Racism is the most powerful system on the planet, yet it is often perceived as the most taboo subject to discuss. World-renowned activist and best-selling author Tariq Nasheed takes on this challenge head-on in his new book, Foundational Black American Race Baiter. This is the most important book you will need in order to understand the mechanisms of systemic racism and how to counter this system. Get Foundational Black American Race Baiter now at Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. Also get limited autographed collector's editions of the book at OfficialFBA.com.
All right, we're here. Y'all come on in here. Papiakute. And respect to everybody. Peace and respect to everybody. Papiakute and Lilavuve. Peace and love in the traditional foundational Black American Tut language. Papiakute and Lilavuve. That means peace and love. Papiakute and Lilavuve. How y'all doing, man? Glad to have everybody chiming in. Just throwing a little lotion on a player. Y'all come on in the room. Everybody come on in. Y'all pop on in here. Hit that like button. I need you to hit that subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a nice, deep conversation on tonight. Yes, this is going to be a very good broadcast tonight. I'm just waiting for everybody to come on in. Let me have y'all do this. Not only do I need you to hit that like button, I need you to hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and then I'm going to need you to share this link on your Facebook, share it on Twitter. Please put this on your Facebook and Instagram stories. All right, put the link on your stories because y'all know how they do the little shadow bans with us. So we need to let everybody know that we're live while people are coming on in the room now. It's all Papiakute and Lilavuve. Yes, indeed. Somebody said my hair looks like Bruno Mars. I see y'all have jokes. Yeah, I got, my hair is robust. I got that nice, robust foundational Black American hairline. And happy holidays. We're going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, a little later in the broadcast, we're going to talk about how we, as foundational Black Americans, we are going to start our own national holiday this year. We already have Juneteenth. We've mainstreamed Juneteenth, which is a good thing. We're going to start our own holiday around this time of year, around the Christmas time of year. And it's going to be 100% controlled and driven by a foundational Black American narrative. And that's very important. That's very important. Even Juneteenth is good, but really a lot of the narrative with Juneteenth, and this is not to disparage Juneteenth because it's about our freedom, but it was about how our freedom was given to us by somebody else, by the dominant society, and how the certain Black people down in, I want to say it was in Texas, they got the news a little bit later about the freedom. So the story, the crux of the story is about how we were allowed freedom, okay? And that's not to disparage it. That's not to disparage it. I want us to have our own holiday where we didn't get permission from anybody. See, I want us to start getting into the mindset where we don't need permission from any damn body. And I want us to have celebrations. And when we mean celebrate, that doesn't mean twerking and all of that. Celebration means a respectful acknowledgement. Okay, and it's very important for us to have a respectful acknowledgement for our history. Okay, shout out to Portland. Yes, you said that Brother Claude Anderson's been pushing Harvest Day. Yes, indeed. So we're going to talk a little deep a little later in the broadcast today. We're waiting on more people to get in. We're going to talk about the holiday that we're going to do this year. Okay. We're going to talk about that Arise Day. You understand? We're talking about Arise Day, ladies and gentlemen. And you can use the term interchangeably with the Tut word for it. Aratususe. The Tut word for arise is Aratususe. So we're going to celebrate Aratususe in December, and we're going to explain why and the symbolisms and the empowerment that we will draw from that. All right, we're going to get into that a little bit later. Rise Day. Yes, indeed. We're talking about arising. Yes, it is going to catch. That's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and if you don't have my book, Foundational Black American Race Baiter, I suggest you get it. The link is right here in the chat right here. The link is here. Y'all come on in here. The link is right there below for the book, Foundational Black American Race Baiter. Yes. Somebody asked to spell it. You spell it Arutisusse. Aratususe. That's in the traditional foundational Black American Tut language. Because see, we need to let the world know, and we need to let each other know that our ancestors, our foundational Black American ancestors, had their own language that they used to empower themselves. This is powerful stuff we're talking about, family. We're gonna get on we're gonna get on that in a minute. I want more people to get in here. When we get about 5,000 people in here, we'll start talking about the holiday. I want to chime in on this. We're talking about Black loyalty. You see, we got to show loyalty to ourselves. This is what the theme of today's broadcast is, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Black loyalty. We, Black people, are oftentimes loyal to a lot of other entities outside of Black society. And yes, there is a Tut language book. There is a Tut language book, and y'all let me know when we get 5,000 people in here so I can start elaborating about the holiday. But listen, a lot of times we're very loyal to other groups. Or a lot of times we've been programmed to be loyal to bullshit, to silly nonsense, unfortunately, being in captivity. And sometimes it's okay to show respect and show love to other groups. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging people from the dominant society. You can acknowledge their contributions. You can acknowledge some of their personalities. You can acknowledge certain things about them. Sometimes Black people can kind of go overboard a little bit. You understand? Sometimes black people can go a tad bit overboard. Now, Betty White, actress Betty White, who was almost 100 years old. I was at the supermarket the other day, and they had already printed out magazines celebrating her 100th birthday. But she died right before her 100th birthday. So if you go to stores right now, you'll see magazines like, "Happy birthday, Betty White," and she's dead as a motherfucker. No disrespect. But they were planning on her to hit 100. They were about to make a big Hollywood celebration. And the thing is, Betty White, from what we've seen of Betty White, she's a very nice woman, older white lady, 100 years old, and very funny. A lot of us used to watch her on The Golden Girls. And yeah, shout out to Max Julian from the movie The Mac, the legendary film The Mac. Our brother Max Julian, he died. He was 88 years old, so he died. All right. So R.I.P. to him. So listen, so Betty White, very nice lady. Everybody who has met her and talked with her and worked with her just says how nice she is. All across the board, she is a very nice lady from what we've heard. Very, very nice lady. Very sweet lady. And a lot of black people seem to just be a little overboard with the, "Oh Lord, I can't believe Betty White gone." It's black people really, really, really putting extras on it. All right? For some reason, have y'all noticed, if you look online, black people are putting a lot of extras on the death of Betty White. Black people are acting like the plantation mistress died the way black people are acting. I mean, black people are very extra when it comes to Betty White dying. You notice that? Black people are like, oh, punching the air with their fist. Oh, black people, let's keep it a buck. Y'all have seen it. You've seen it. You've all seen it online. You understand? Man. Hold on. You've all seen it online. Y'all have all seen it. Black people are extra. What's old girl from ESPN who used to be on ESPN? What's her name? What's old girl who used to be on ESPN? She be mammying it up. What is her name? I can't think of her name right now. I'm having a brain fart here. What's her name? What the hell is her name from, why can't I think of her name? What's her name from ESPN, who used to be on ESPN with the braids, who look like Chucky? What's her name? Why am I having a brain fart for her name? I'm getting old. Yeah, Jamel Hill, thank you. I'm becoming an old nigga. I be forgetting little shit. That's old nigga stuff kicking in with me. I be forgetting little shit. Hold on, where my keys at? Hold on, baby. What is that thing over there? I gotta go to the CVS pharmacy, baby. I be forgetting little shit. I'm getting old, man. I'm becoming an old nigga. Yeah, I be forgetting shit, dude. I be little shit because I be cramming so much information in my mind. I'm becoming an old nigga, man. I'm forgetting stuff. I look very young, but I'm very old. You dig? And I be forgetting stuff, man. I be driving around playing Johnny Taylor songs and on Tidal, driving around playing old music, forgetting shit. I'm an old nigga right now. I'm gonna start wearing some barbecue shoes, them sandals, some dress sandals on y'all ass, and linen suits now. I gotta start getting that popping. But talk about Jamel Hill. Where is Jamel Hill? She had chimed in about Betty White. Hold on, where's that? Hold on. Where is that? Hold on. Let me find that thing real quickly. Where is that? I can't find it. Oh, Lord. But yeah, she was hella extra. Okay, now I can't find it. Okay, but forget about it. But like I said, is it the new baby? Yeah, it's the new baby because I've been feeling drained lately. We got a new baby coming. In June, and I'll be feeling drained as hell. Yeah. But listen, a lot of black folks are very extra about it. Now, I get it. I love Golden Girls growing up. I like that show. It was funny. But, black folks are being a little bit extra. Black folks are being a tad bit extra. I put this up and a lot of people can relate to it. Black folks are on this right now. This is black folks right now. Black folks are hella extra when it comes to Betty White. Y'all just a little bit extra. And here's the thing. Betty White, years ago, when she had a show, she had a black dude on there, and this story has been circulating. It was a black dude who was a tap dancer, and they didn't want the black man on the show. So, and here's the story right here. Hold on, right here. And a lot of black folks love sharing this, which is cool. Let us not forget that in 1954, Betty White's show was canceled shortly after receiving backlash for her refusal to cancel black tap dancer Arthur Duncan. She extended his airtime instead and responded to racists with, "I'm sorry, live with it." So she stood up for a black man in the 1950s. She kept a black man on her show, and her show got canceled. And black people have been loyal ever since. Ever since, black people have been loyal. Let me tell you something, boy. A white person can do one kind gesture half a century ago, and black people are loyal for life. You're extra with it. Black people are hella extra with it. So she stood up for a tap dancer, all right? And she was funny. I think she was a very funny lady too, but damn, black folks, calm down. Y'all calm down, black folks. Y'all putting the cape on a little too tight. Yeah, y'all better show Marla Gibbs. Marla Gibbs is alive now. Show her some of that love. Marla Gibbs is a legend. See, my thing is, if you're gonna, and I'm not knocking Betty White. Betty White's a sweet lady or whatever. But show that same love to your folks. Y'all really overboard, yeah. Y'all started inviting everybody to the cookout. One white person do a kind gesture 100 years ago. Boy, you're loyal for life. Yeah? She did one kind gesture to a black person, and boy, y'all have been hooked. Boy, yeah, they do. Yeah, when white people do the bare minimum, all she did was not be racist to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Lord, she did this is the Messiah. Missy, but y'all driving Miss Daisy. Goddamn, black folks. All right, she wasn't racist. Okay. Calm down. Y'all giving her props for being an old white woman who didn't overtly show racism. That's really what it is. We're giving people consolation prizes for not being overtly racist. That's really all it is. Betty White she's an old white woman who was not overtly racist. She never showed any outward racism. That's good enough for us. Oh, Lord. She died. Oh, no, Lord. Why 2021? Damn you. You punch in the air. Calm down, man. All right. Black folks, stop this loyal slave bullshit. All right, she died. She's a nice woman, funny woman. All right, we liked her on Golden Girls, but calm y'all asses down. Let me tell y'all something. Today is the 2nd. I don't like to date the broadcast. Today is the 2nd of January. I don't like to date the broadcast. Today is the transition date for our beloved elder, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Y'all better show some of that energy for our Queen Mother. You understand? This was the transition of our sister, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing today. January 2nd, 2016, our sister transitioned, who gave so many of us the game. And I haven't seen none of these folks out here giving shout outs to our Queen Mother, Dr. Welsing. You understand? That's my thing. If you're going to give all of these props and do all this buck dancing and all this old stuff, do it for one of our master teachers. Do it for one of our riders. You understand? Do it for that person. This, ladies and gentlemen, is another reason why we're going to do the holiday around this time of year. Actually, the official holiday is going to be on December 24th. We're going to have it on December 24th, the official day. Arise Day will be on December 24th. And we can still celebrate it up until today, the 2nd. because December is a very important month. I'm going to get on that. Yeah, December and this time of year is very important. This time of year is very important because how many people we got in here? Yep, we got 5,000. Now we got to talk about the holiday. This time of year, December is very important. This holiday season is very important. This is why we have to do the holiday around this time of year. All right? Because not only do we pay homage to the foundation of Black Americans who were freeing themselves in slavery, out of bondage, we got to celebrate Aretususe. We have to celebrate Aretususe in December, the last part of December, to also honor the birthdays of some of our other master teachers. We got a lot of other master teachers that we have to pay homage to. Some FBA, some non-FBA, like Sheikh Anta Diop. His birthday is around this time. Sheikh Anta Diop, his birthday is December 29th. He's born December 29, 1923. Dr. Ben, who was not FBA, but he was a scholar warrior and he was a writer for FBA. He was born December 31st. We got to give a shout out to Dr. Ben, 1918. Dr. John Henry Clark's birthday was yesterday. Okay? Chancellor Williams, he was born December 23rd. So a lot of these great scholar warriors that we've got so much game from, their birthdays are all around the Christmas, Kwanzaa, New Year holiday. You understand? No. We got somebody, a non-FBA bucking his eyes. Somebody who don't do the holiday. No. We're doing the holiday. No, stop it. No. Don't start bucking your eyes now. Don't y'all start. But we're talking about power moves, and we're talking about solidifying our culture. We're talking about solidifying our culture. See, we got to get all of this stuff straight. We got to get people psychologically straight. We got to get psychologically on code. This is why our holiday is very important. Also, our brother John Henry Clark talked about how we need to have our own holiday. How we need to create our own holiday. Okay? And that's exactly what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. And we're not going to lose anything by doing it. That's the good thing. Acknowledging a holiday is all about you just getting on code psychologically. You understand? You're not going to lose anything. You're not going to exert your energy that's going to lose anything. All of it is going to benefit you and your culture. It's very important for us to create certain days and celebrations that empower us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 2022, on December 24th, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to celebrate Aretususe Day, Arise Day. We're going to celebrate that day. Now, why are we going to celebrate that day? And I explained some of this the other day. And if you go to the official FBA.com site, we have a short blog about the significance of it. See, this is how holidays are created. We just create them. All holidays are just some people sitting down creating them. That's what holidays are. That in real talk, John Henry Clark said, you take your day. You understand? We don't wait on permission. We're taking our day. We're going to take December 24th and acknowledge our foundational Black American heritage. And why December 24th? Very important. And let me go to my thing here. Let me show y'all where we are here. If you go to the official FBA site, we have a little blurb on here talking about it. Aretususe. And we have the pronunciation so that people can read Aretususe. All right? At officialfba.com. Now, why is this important? Now, family, listen. During slavery here in America, and I talked about this the other day, our family, our foundational Black American family, and really a lot of the cultures here in the Western Hemisphere, in the Americas, December and the Christmas time, that part of year was very important because a lot of our family used that time to escape bondage. They would go for freedom around this time. They would fight for their freedom and they would escape and get their freedom around this time. Harriet Tubman saved her brothers on Christmas. All right, she plotted it out. December 24th went down there. I think she went to Maryland because they were about to sell her brothers. They finessed the game, got some passes, and then they got up out of there on Christmas. You understand? Another brother named Henry Bibb who made a famous escape on Christmas. A lot of our family, a lot of our people used the Christmas holiday to get the hell on up out of here. And I say, we're going to do December 24th because this is when a lot of the plotting happened. A lot of the escapes actually happened on the 24th, and they got to where they needed to go on the 25th. You understand? So that's why we're doing December 24th. Because the thing is this. People talk about Kwanzaa. And let's be real about Kwanzaa. Let's be real about Kwanzaa. We're talking about December. The holiday is about foundational Black Americans escaping to freedom in December around Christmas. So that's why we're not doing it in August. Yeah, Henry Bibb. A lot of folks don't know about Henry Bibb. He made his escape on Christmas. But going back to Kwanzaa, let's keep it a buck. Kwanzaa, you know, we acknowledge it. We acknowledge it, but truth be told, Black people generally, we don't celebrate Kwanzaa. How many people do you know celebrate Kwanzaa? We don't really celebrate Kwanzaa for a couple of reasons. And we acknowledge it because it's something that's supposed to be for Black people. But here's the thing about Kwanzaa. Number one, a lot of Black people who are somewhat conscious, they know about Karanga, the guy who created it, and they understand that Karanga was clicked in with the FBI. So that throws a lot of people off. Also, Kwanzaa is really more African themed, okay? Even the days in Moja and all of that has a lot of African themes, and that's no disrespect to them, but a lot of us don't feel the cultural camaraderie with the African themes because we understand that we are a different tribe. We are our own foundational Black American tribe. We are a different tribe, and we understand that. So when you start talking about emoji and all of these words that we just don't really get down with, so a lot of people just giving an acknowledgement, but it don't hit. It really don't hit our spirit. Let's just be real. It really don't hit our spirit. We understand that we are foundational Black Americans, and that's no disrespect to our African brothers and sisters in the diaspora, but we as foundational Black Americans, we have a very unique, a very special, a very exciting, a very exhilarating history that other people don't have. And when we acknowledge that, we can tap in and it hits different. This is what we're doing with the Arise Day, because we're tapping it into stuff that happened right here on this land with our ancestors. Our foundational Black American ancestors were brilliant. I want y'all to understand how brilliant our family members were getting out of bondage in a nationwide system of oppression, and they still figured out ways to finesse the system to get up out of here to arise. Do you understand? That's something that I can tap into, my children can tap into. We can get inspiration from that. See, that's the story they don't tell you about Harriet Tubman and all of these people. They were making these escapes on Christmas. So they were doing this stuff using their own skill. They understood during the holidays, during Christmas, the plantation system was a little more relaxed. They understood that the massa, he would be gone. You understand? So a lot of times when they would run away around December 24th, December 25th, Massa wouldn't know they were gone until like the first week of January. Also, our brothers and sisters would get passes to go visit other family members on other plantations. So the streets would already have Black people walking around. So when you had random white people or the white authorities trying to check people's slave papers, they can say, hey, well, Massa just gave me permission to go visit my cousin on the other plantation. So Black people were very smart in that regard. Our family, they were very resilient. We got to give honor to that. We got to give honor to that. Also, some of our family, our people, they made dramatic escapes. They did very, very dramatic escapes. There was a Black couple. I think they were from Macon, Georgia. the Craft couple, William and Ellen Craft. This was a couple, they plotted their escape on Christmas. What they did was, the brother William, he was an apprentice, so he knew he would use his carpentry skills to make a little money for himself. So what he did, his wife was another enslaved sister named Ellen. Now Ellen, her father was a slave owner, but he was white. Ellen was light enough to pass for white. Now, they knew she was a negress, but she was light enough to pass for white. So what she did, Ellen and William got her some clothes. They had her dressed like a man. He had her dressed like a white man who was a slave owner. And then they cut her hair. They put man clothes on her. My brother bought his wife some men's clothes. He put a sling in her arm because she couldn't read or write. So if she needed to write something down or whatever, she would say, hey, well, I can't write because my arm is broke. So they put patches on her face like she was in an accident. So she passed for a white man, and he was traveling with her. So if anybody saw this white man with a black man, you're like, oh, this is Massa. I'm just here to help Massa. Because if it was a white woman, the people would be, hey, what are you doing with this nigga out here? You understand? So they finessed the game. Got up there to Philadelphia. Then I think they went to Boston, but I know at one point they went over there to the UK. They lived in England for a while, preaching against abolition and going against slavery. So they brilliantly, on Christmas, got the hell up out of slavery and got their freedom. They finessed the game. These are stories that we need to understand. These are stories that we need to spread to our children around the holidays. You understand? We got a lot of trolls in here, but that's okay. Another thing that happened around the holidays, there was already a celebration happening over here during slavery. Not only here in the continental U.S., also in the Caribbean. There was something, and I know my North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia people might have heard of Junkanoo. Have y'all heard of Junkanoo? How you spell it? Junkoonoo. You spell it different ways, but the pronunciation is Junkanoo. Now, Junkanoo is a celebration. It almost has kind of a Mardi Gras type feel to it. All right? It kind of has a Mardi Gras type feel, but Junkanoo, they practice it in the Bahamas heavy now. Somebody knows about it. My North Carolina people know about it. They practice it in the Bahamas heavy right now, but it's a little different there than it was here. It was celebrated by us in North Carolina, in other places, also in Virginia, in December, right around Christmas. Yes, they celebrated in the Bahamas heavy. Feel me? Bahamian Junkanoo. But Junkanoo is practiced here too. They were celebrating it here too. The way they would do it here, now in the Bahamas, what they do, they put on a bunch of feathers and lights and people be twerking. It's a little different there than it is here. The way they practice it here, they practiced it around Christmas time. The black men would dress up in horns and all of these crazy outfits. And also they would dress up as slave masters and mock white people. They would put on whiteface. No, it's not Bahamian culture. Somebody said that's Bahamian culture. No, it is not. They've made it a part of their culture, okay? But they were doing Junkanoo here. It actually, some people say it originated in Jamaica. They just don't do it in Jamaica like that no more. So that practice was going on in the Caribbean and over here. Bahamas, they're the ones who are just practicing it more consistently. But they were doing Junkanoo here. Let's be very clear. Now, the Bahamas are like, yeah, that's our culture. They just took it and just kind of stamped it, and they just keep practicing it. But they were doing Junkanoo here. It was a little different here. Like I said, they were mocking the white slave owners. They were mocking white slave owners. And they would go to plantations playing this loud music. They would play this music and make a big ruckus and then basically harass white people. So they got a pass to do it because the white people were like, well, let them blow off steam so these niggas don't kill us when we put them back in the fields. So they allowed them to just kind of get that one off on that day. So they would go to white people kind of shucking and jiving and poking fun at them and like, hey, yeah, we're going to keep playing this music until you give us some money. So a lot of white people just dismissed it. Oh, these are just niggers just niggering, just to give them a couple of dollars. But let me tell you something. I believe that there was a more covert reason for what they were doing. Listen, I believe that there was a more covert reason for what they were doing with John Canoe here in the U.S. I'm talking about here. I don't know, in the Caribbean, it's just something to twerk to or whatever. No disrespect to them. But over here, I believe that there was an ulterior motive they were doing with John Canoe on Christmas. A lot of our people, remember, a lot of our people were very smart when it came to tricking and creating ruses for the white supremacists. The Black Seminoles, when they were fighting down in Florida, they understood how racist Andrew Jackson was. See, Andrew Jackson was a general who went down there, and he was the main ones attacking the Black Seminoles. And they knew how racist he was. They knew that he underestimated black people because he thought black people were inferior. So they played on this. So in one of the battles with Andrew Jackson, he went into the woods looking for the Black Seminoles, and then he ran across some black folks playing the banjo, shucking and jiving, and he let his guard down. Him and his guys, oh, he's just silly niggas. And what happened was some of those Black Seminoles were in the trees and they ambushed the fuck out of them and ran them up out of that spot. They ran them up out of there. So our brothers and sisters would use ruses in order to ambush these white supremacists. So they knew how to use certain things as diversions. I'm thinking, family, what it looks like is the John Canoe that they were doing here, the John Canoe parades that they were doing here, I think that was a diversion. They were making a lot of noise, shucking and jiving, singing and dancing, and creating a ruckus so the black people who they knew were escaping for Christmas would have a better chance of getting away. See, we got to give our brothers and sisters credit. I think they were doing that as a ruse. They were doing that as a ruse to keep the white people occupied. You see all these black people making noise, while our other brothers and sisters are rising up out of there. It was very tactical. You understand? Oh yeah, Jackson said, yeah, the Seminole War, it's the Negro War. They call it the Negro War. Yeah? But our brothers and sisters, family, they were taking their freedom, especially around this time of year. You understand? So, family, we're going to start paying homage to that. We're going to start honoring that on a Rise Day, a Ratisuse Day. And we're using our own language, our own foundational Black American language, ladies and gentlemen. And on December 24th, what we should do, ladies and gentlemen, we should gift each other at least one book. That should be the tradition. That should be the culture. On December 24th, part of the tradition is we gift another black person a book that will elevate them. Because our people fought to learn how to read, they risked their lives to learn how to read, they risked their lives teaching other people how to read. We have to give honor to that. Part of our tradition on a Rise Day, give our brothers and sisters a book. That is the gift. We give them a book. Everybody gives somebody a book that's going to elevate their consciousness. That's a culture that we all should embrace. We could do it on that one day. That's not going to hurt nothing. All that is going to do is help us all across the board. Gift somebody a book in honor of your foundational Black American ancestors. That ain't gonna hurt. And it's right around Christmas, so if you want to buck your eyes or whatever and celebrate Christmas, it'll be around that same time. But on December 24th, you gift somebody a book that will elevate their consciousness and help them arise out of ignorance. Okay? And we can share that online. On December 24th, we get online and say, hey, I just bought somebody the ISIS papers. On December 24th, somebody just gave me The Destruction of Black Civilization. On December 24th, I just gave somebody the J.A. Rogers collection. On December 24th, I just gave somebody the book on the Tut language. On December 24th, we gift each other books that will elevate our family. That is the holiday. That is our culture. We do that. Enough of us do that. We are creating another tree of our culture, ladies and gentlemen. You dig? And then we get online and we discuss the books that we're giving out to our families or our loved ones or our friends. You understand? Yeah, and some of y'all, and now look, now I know there's some black people, you work with white folks. You don't want to seem too black. You don't want to get in no good trouble. You don't want to get in good trouble. So you can pretend it's a Christmas gift. Like you can come to work and give your black coworkers, you can give them some John Henry Clark books, and your white nosy ass coworkers, hey, what's this? What? Ivan Van Sertima? What? They came before Columbus? What's this about? Oh, it's just a Christmas gift. It's just a Christmas gift I'm giving to one of my friend over there. You can buck your eyes and just act like it's for Christmas. But in your mind, you know it's for the Arise Day, all right? In your mind, you know it's for our holiday. Yeah? Now that, if we do that, Aratususe Day, we do that, family, we're going to come into the new year with an empowerment mindset. That's how we give each other books and we celebrate our ancestry of rebellion, our culture of rebellion. And then we take that energy into the new year. See, that's a great thing to do. We'll take that empowerment energy into the new year. You dig? That's our culture, ladies and gentlemen. So December 24th, that's what we're going to do this year, ladies and gentlemen. So start planning on what books you're going to give to your friends. It could be just one book, even a coloring book to your kids. That counts. Any type of book that's going to elevate the consciousness of the people around you, that's a great thing. And that is our culture. Arise Day, December 24th, 2022. We're going to plot this and plan this all year. And we're going to promote this all year to get everybody on board, or just enough of us on board. That's fine. This ain't nothing that, all we need is enough people on board with this. You dig? All we need is enough people. Yeah, and if you get it from a black-owned bookstore, that's even better. That's even better. Because see, the thing is, family, the white supremacists, they go out of their way to sit here and flip history on us. See, this is why we have to acknowledge real history. They go out of their way and they pay big money to change history and flip history. During the first part of the 20th century, there was a movement of these white supremacists because they needed to rewrite history, especially the history of slavery, the Confederate sympathizers. So they all got into this little agreement, the so-called liberal white supremacists and the conservative white supremacists. They all made a little deal with each other where everybody will sit back and they'll let the Confederate sympathizing white supremacists go ahead and start rewriting history. There was a movement in the early part of the 20th century called the Lost Cause movement, meaning that there was really a lost cause to slavery. They revamped what the Civil War was. I mean, the lost cause of the Civil War. They made it seem like, well, the Civil War was just about, the North just getting into some overreach, and it wasn't about the mistreatment of the Negroes. In fact, and this is the white supremacists talking, they were like, well, yeah, we didn't treat our Negroes so bad. They started to rewrite history. This is when the daughters of the Confederates and all of these people, they started putting monuments all over the place. They started going around saying, well, the Confederates weren't really that bad. They weren't white supremacists, and they weren't that bad. They weren't mean to their Negroes. So let us put these monuments up. And remember, they were putting a lot of those Confederate monuments in places that wasn't even in the South. They were putting Confederate monuments all up in the North, places where there were really no Confederates. They're putting them things all over the place. They put Confederate monuments all over the country in the 20th century. They also wanted to put a Mammy statue in certain parts of the country too. The Daughters of the Confederacy and all of these people. They wanted to put up Mammy statues. But it was the black press at the time that said, hell no, y'all ain't doing that. Fuck that. Y'all not doing that. So they wanted to create a movement that slavery wasn't so bad and black people liked it. Black people weren't really resisting. The black people were docile. We were just one big old happy family with our niggers. The propaganda started coming heavy. They really started to revamp it. And unfortunately, a lot of black folks started going along with it later on down the line. But then we started to see movies like Gone with the Wind. We started to see it in Hollywood. Gone with the Wind. Movies like that with Mammy and all of these people running around with the white folks. We started seeing Song of the South, movies like that. Black people just singing with white people, all that goofy bullshit. A lot of these movies, Mr. Bojangles and Shirley Temple, tap dancing and all. We started seeing all of that stuff. They started to revamp history. You understand? They were revamping history. So they've revamped it and they continue to try to revamp it. That's why it's up to us to call that out. Shout out to brothers like J.A. Rogers. Shout out to some of our non-FBA brothers. J.A. Rogers was a Caribbean brother. He was Jamaican. J.A. Rogers was one of the first people, and others, and there's many, many others, but he worked as a porter, so he would have access to certain books, certain pieces of knowledge, and he would put it out in his books, and he would get with the black press over here and put a lot of this information out. We got to pay homage to J.A. Rogers and some of our other people too, some of our non-FBA brothers too. Understand this, during Christmas, even in the Caribbean, some of our brothers and sisters were turning up on Christmas in the Caribbean as well. Where my Jamaicans? Where my bad boys? Where my island boys? Where my Jamaican brothers? Even in Jamaica, they had a huge rebellion in Jamaica on Christmas, 1831. They had the Christmas Rebellion. They also call it, I think, the Baptist Rebellion, something like that, but that was led by a national hero, Sam Sharp. Our brother Sam Sharp, who's a national hero out there in Jamaica, Samuel Sharp. He led that huge rebellion on Christmas. They brought it to them white supremacist asses on Christmas. Now, it was some coons who turned on him, and they ended up killing our brother Sam Sharp. But shout out to my Jamaican fam. Y'all know about Sam Sharp. I got some money here, some Jamaican money with Sam Sharp on it. They got him on the money out there. They got Sam Sharp on the money. But yeah, they turned up on Christmas. They knew that Christmas was the time to get busy. In fact, one of the first rebellions of black people in the Western Hemisphere happened on the island of Hispaniola with Christopher Columbus's sons, or grandsons, I think. This was in 1521. Hispaniola, that's where Haiti and the Dominican Republic is. But there were some black people on that island with the Spanish, and they knew that the Spanish would be slipping on Christmas. So on Christmas Day, 1521, they brought it to them damn Spanish. Them black folks on the island of Hispaniola, 1521, they brought it to that ass. You understand? So we've always known that this type of year is the time to strike. This has always been a time of rebellion. They got a statue of him in the square in Montego Bay. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So shout out to some of our non-FBA fam too. Shout out to some of our non-FBA fam. But the thing is, they always have to switch our history. Just like, remember a couple of years ago, they tried to write a book. They tried to do a children's book talking about George Washington's birthday and how the black folks, they were all eating and black folks was cooking George Washington a cake and it was like one big old happy family, and this was a kid's book, and they had George Washington up here skinning and grinning with his slaves, and we like, hell no, y'all not about to put that shit out, because that's not what happened. That's not what happened. We got on the author of that book, we got on her ass, we got on the publisher's ass, we made them take that book off the market. We made them take that book out of circulation. We literally shut that book down because it was a bunch of lies. And we're like, you're not going to lie on our culture. These folks did not bake a cake, because what they tried to do, George Washington had a slave, a male slave who was a cook, Hercules. And they tried to make it seem like he loved George Washington so much that he wanted to make him a very special cake on his birthday. But that's not what really happened. He made him a cake, all right. He made a big ass feast. He made a big good meal so he can get the hell out of there and escape. He made this meal so he can escape, and that's exactly what he did. Yeah, he made a cake, but they tell the whole story. How he got the motherfuckers eating, and then while they were sitting there full, he dipped up out of there and they ain't never seen his ass again. Tell the whole story. Don't sit up here and flip our story and try to tell our children some bullshit about how this man was a grateful slave who loved George Washington. He wanted to feed him. No, tell our kids the truth. He got the hell on out of there and told George Washington to kiss his ass when he got to the North. You know? So yeah, we got to tell real history here. We got to tell real history. You understand? But again, this time of year is very important. And I also talked about how December represented the rising of Heru and the story of Heru and Isis and all that. The Jesus story was transfixed to that story. Now, let's be clear. People in the dominant society, they know this. They know about the rising of Heru and the Black Madonna and Child. That's where the Black Madonna and Child comes from. See, while black folks sit here and believe everything that the white supremacists tell you, they know the truth and they practice and they acknowledge things privately. You understand? They acknowledge the truth privately. That's one thing about white people. If there's some truth out there, they will acknowledge it. They might not let you know that they're acknowledging it, but they acknowledge the truth. They'll acknowledge it privately. They understand the Jesus story is really the story of Heru and Isis. They know this. They're very well aware of this. That's why, family, over there in Europe, they got all of these Black Madonna and Child statues everywhere. You go to Spain, they got Black Madonna and Child. You go to Italy, they got Black Madonna and Child. I've seen them at the Vatican. They got them things everywhere, all up in Germany, all in Russia. They got these Black Madonna and Child statues and monuments, paying homage to the real African story, to the real black story, the Shriners and all that. They're big on that. They understand our history. Family, not only that, have you been in white people's homes before? I mean, some rich white people. Have y'all been around some rich white people before? If you go to rich white people's homes, you'll see all types of black statues and monuments that they have. They know what's up, dude. If you get a chance to, I ain't talking about breaking somebody's house, but if you ever get a chance to get around some rich white people and go up in their crib, if they let you, you'll see a whole bunch of our shit up in there. You understand? I remember one time I was scouting some locations for one movie I was about to do. I forgot what movie it was, but we were scouting locations, and I went to different houses. I think we were looking for a house that looked like a house from an 1800s mansion or something. I forgot. But we were going to different places in LA looking for a place to film. I think we were doing this for 1804, as a matter of fact. And we ended up filming some of the scenes at this real big mansion that Beyonce had just used for her video up in Malibu. But we were going to different houses. We were going to these different homes. And it was one white person's house that they rent out for film shoots or whatever. And it was a historic monument. This is an old looking house that's been out here in LA for a couple of 100 years from what I understand. But I went in this house and boy, they had all types of Moorish statues and all of the elephant tusk and all types of Benin statues from West Africa. Man, they had all types of black shit up in there. These white people had all of these blackamoor statues and stuff all in their homes, all over the place. I'm like, oh, so this is where a lot of this stuff is. They keep a lot of black artwork and artifacts. They keep that shit. Yeah, they got a lot of black dolls, black ceramic stuff. Man, they keep that shit heavy. You understand? And a lot of them keep a lot of the shit privately. Family, I was arguing with a Hispanic white supremacist the other day on Twitter because I was showing what a lot of foundational black Americans look like thousands of years before Columbus, and I was showing some artifacts, and this one Latino wannabe white supremacist was kind of arguing with me, and I was showing some images, and he was like, oh, that's that Ivan Van Sertima stuff. I put this image up right here. Let me show you the image I put up. I put this up. I said, people look like this in the Americas. And this is from a book. And then the suspected white supremacist was like, oh, that's that Ivan Van Sertima stuff. Now, this is an image. This is a terracotta head, a stone statue head of an Aboriginal person here in the Americas. This was in Mexico, ladies and gentlemen. This image that you're watching is an Aboriginal person who lived in the area that's now known as Mexico. This is not an African person who came from the African slave trade. This thing was found in Mexico, this monument, this item, and it's about 1,000 or something years. It was way before Columbus. It's a few centuries older than the arrival of Columbus. It looked like Gucci Mane. It's clearly a black person. So this person was like, oh, that's that Ivan Van Sertima. And I had to let him know. I said, this is not from Ivan Van Sertima. In fact, this is from a book from a white man. There's a white man named Alexander von Wutnow. And this is a white man who in the 70s wrote several books exposing that all of these monuments and statues and all of these artifacts, he was exposing with all the receipts. He was vehemently promoting the fact that the Americas was populated with a bunch of black people, a bunch of Negroes. This is a white man saying this. He was from Germany. This white man came over here. He got off code with the other white supremacists and started telling the truth. And what von Wutnow would do, he even went to the Smithsonian and he exposed them. The Smithsonian, if you had any artifacts that looked black that was from the Americas, you were supposed to put them up in the basement somewhere. And they were threatening to fire anybody who would bring those artifacts to the forefront. He was exposing all of that. Von Wutnow also, he came over here and he was mingling with a lot of other wealthy white people and white people here in the Americas. Yeah, German archaeologists. So what they would do, he would go look at their private collections. He went to their homes and he saw that they had all of these monuments of black people who were Aboriginal. They had them in their private collections. Yeah, they shunned him. That's why you don't hear about this guy. White people don't even like talking about him because he was off code with their ass. He was like, no, these are Negroes. They're bullshitting. I don't know what they're talking about, but all of the shit that I've seen, these are black people that were here. He was getting around white people and they would show him their collections. And he'd be like, oh, let me take a picture of that. And he would go around to different white people taking pictures of their personal collections and then put it all in a book. He got a whole book with nothing but receipts talking about how these are Negroes. And he is emphatic about pointing out these are Negroes. The Americas are full of Aboriginal Negroes. You understand? Yeah. This was what, tell me this motherfucker like Gucci Mane. Straight up and down. This is an Aboriginal American. This person did not come over on a slave ship. You understand? So Ivan Van Sertima got the game, a lot of the game from this guy. Van Sertima got a lot of game from this guy, guys. It's real heavy stuff. You see? But we have to understand, black people, this is our foundational black American land. Many of us have indigenous roots to this land. We're not trying to disrespect our African brothers and sisters because we are still mixed in with brothers and sisters from the African diaspora, which is true. We're mixed in, but we also have a lineage that is distinctively aboriginal to this land. We got to understand that. This is why it was so pivotal for us to assist the white supremacists in building this nation. Even though we were forced to do it, but they could not have done it without us. They just could not have done it. We are the glue to this thing, ladies and gentlemen. We have to understand and we have to act like it. We are the glue to this thing. And we do not let other people throw us in with other groups. We got to get off that. We have a very distinct culture and heritage, ladies and gentlemen. And we got to get off this thing where if it weren't for the white supremacists, we could not have survived. See, they started promoting that thing heavy around the turn of the 20th century, where you were lowly niggas from Africa somewhere. You were living in the bushes, and white people saved you and brought you over here and gave you a nice, comfortable place to stay. And the niggas started believing that nonsense. Too many black folks started believing that. And I want you to understand, black people, if it were not for you, the white supremacists would have starved or ate themselves, because that's what they were doing. They would have starved. The other day, I was telling you about how they were living in Europe. They were starving and living in Europe. When they were living in Europe, they were starving and they were eating each other. I broke this down the other day. Von Wutenow. How do you pronounce it? I can't think of the spelling right now, but Alexander von Wutenow. That's his name. Yeah, it was with the W. Von, one word, Wutenow. Wouteneo, something like that. Neu, something like that. But listen, I was talking about the other day how over in Europe, dude, they were barely surviving themselves. Dude, when the going gets rough, they started eating each other. They were doing that heavy in Europe. Yeah, cannibalism is their history. See, they sat up here and told you, black folks, that you were somewhere in a jungle with a pot eating people. That's them projecting their history onto you. That's what they were doing with themselves. Family, if you look at a lot of their nursery rhymes are about cannibalism or eating children, because that was a big thing over in Europe during the medieval times, during the Dark Ages. When it wasn't no food, they were like, hey man, whose kid is this? They see an orphan, oh, they about to have some orphan pie. They eat that motherfucker. They just eat them. For real. And if you look at a lot of their folk tales and fairy tales, a lot of it, especially the original folk tales, because a lot of their folk tales, what they've done, they've twisted them and they remixed them. A lot of their folk tales, they've remixed them to take out the cannibalism and the rape. But stories like Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel, that was a very famous story about these kids who put breadcrumbs. They got lost in the woods and they put down breadcrumbs and they found a gingerbread house and there was an evil witch. And the witch was trying to fatten them up so that she could eat the kids. And she was going to put them in an oven and all this shit. A lot of their fairy tales and stories are like that. A lot of their stories of the Pied Piper. That's another one where they were killing kids. The Pied Piper, the original story was about this town wanted to get rid of the rats. So they brought in this Pied Piper. He had a magic flute. He played a song and got all the rats out, but they didn't pay him. He wanted his money. And since they didn't give the Pied Piper his money, he came back with that flute and started playing the flute and got all of their kids out of there. The kids started following him. He took the kids to a cave and killed all the kids. That's the original story of the Pied Piper. Now they've remixed it, but they've always, all of their stories have something to do with them eating a kid or killing it. Real weird shit. Even Snow White. The Snow White story had some cannibalism in it. It was about Snow White and her stepmother. Her stepmother didn't like her because of her youth or whatever. And the stepmother hired a hunter to go kill Snow White. And the hunter was supposed to kill her and then bring back her inside so the stepmother could eat the insides. But the hunter brought back the insides of a boar, of an animal. And the stepmother was eating the entrails of the boar, thinking it was Snow White. That's the original text of Snow White. Yeah, the Brothers Grimm. Yeah, all of them is some German brothers called the Brothers Grimm who would write all this crazy shit. Oh, they were crazy as cat shit, dude. All the stories. Even Jack and the Beanstalk. Remember Jack and the Beanstalk? That's about cannibalism. They run into this big giant. Jack runs into a big giant, and the giant is like, fee, fi, fo, thumb, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be it alive or be him dead, I will grind him and put him in my bread. It was like this giant eating Englishmen, and I'm going to grind him down and make a sandwich out this motherfucker. You understand? So yeah, the Jack and the Beanstalk is about cannibalism. Little Red Riding Hood. That's about cannibalism. The original story of Little Red Riding Hood is crazy. They flipped it and changed it up just a little bit, but the original story of Little Red Riding Hood was she went into the woods. She was supposed to go to her grandmother's house. Then a wolf followed her there. The wolf went to the grandmother's house before her. The wolf killed the grandmother and then baked her into some food. When Little Red Riding Hood got there, the wolf dressed like the grandmother and then made Little Red Riding Hood eat some of the food with the grandmother in it. Then the wolf made Little Red Riding Hood throw her clothes in the fireplace, and then it was some sexual stuff going on with Little Red Riding Hood. Then after some sexual molestation, the wolf ate Little Red Riding Hood. That was the original story. It's always this dark shit where some kids are getting raped or ate. Yeah. Y'all better understand these damn nursery rhymes and some of these folk tales, dude. Yeah, man, these people were sick with it. But this was reflective of how they were getting down for real, for real. Hit that like button. We're in here heavy. Hit the like button. And also, that cannibalism thing, they brought that over here. We all know that they were doing the cannibalism thing in Virginia. We know that. We know that they were doing the cannibalism thing all up and down the East Coast in Virginia and all of these places. When the white supremacists were there by themselves, they were eating each other. They were cannibalizing each other, all in the 1600s. We know this. This is documented. But a lot of folks don't know. They were still doing that deep until the mid and late 1800s when they had westward expansion. Remember, when the United States started purchasing the western territories and there was western expansion, the white supremacists, when they were coming out here to the West, they didn't really have good relationships with the Native American people. And they didn't really know how to cultivate, and they're not an agrarian people. And they were coming to places that weren't really slave states, so they didn't have black people doing all the work for them. So a lot of them were getting into that cannibalism in the Western areas. A lot of folks don't know this. Out here in the West, or in the coming from the Midwest, they were getting into that cannibalism thing heavy. I know you guys heard the story about the Donner Party. Yeah, there's an infamous case of the Donner Party where they were coming from the Midwest on their way out here to the West Coast. It was about 80 or 87 or about 90 of these white people who had a caravan of them coming out here. They tried to take a different route that they weren't familiar with. They didn't have any relations or good relations with the Native Americans. The Native Americans weren't fucking with them. They didn't know how to trade. They didn't know none of that. They didn't have good relationships. Donner's passed. So they got stuck. They were stuck up there for a while, and boy, they got to eating each other. They started eating the kids. Oh man, they started eating each other left and right. It was this just shocked everybody. It was an infamous story. They were eating each other, something crazy. Nigga, they were up there eating each other like they were eating crab legs. They just snatched a motherfucking arm off, just eating them up, eating the babies up. It was insane. But there were also other individual white supremacists out on the West who was doing that cannibalism thing during the westward expansion. There was a white man named Jeremiah John Johnson. John Johnson, he was, I think he was originally from New Jersey, but he was in Wyoming and then Montana, then certain parts of California. And this guy, he was up here eating the Native American people. He ate about 300 Native Americans. He would kill them and then eat their liver. And there was somebody, he took somebody's leg and ate their leg and then went on the run in the woods. This dude, they gave him a nickname. His nickname was Liver Eating Johnson. Y'all Google that. Crazy ass white man named Liver Eating Johnson. Hell, let me see if I can find a picture of him while I'm. There's a crazy ass white man who was up here eating Aboriginal people. Hold on. And because it was Aboriginal people, it was non-white people. Yeah, because it was white people that he was eating. There's crazy white man right here. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, these are pictures of him right here. This man right here, Liver Eating Johnson. He just eating folks left and right. He ate about 300 Native Americans. They tried to say he was a revenge killer because his wife was killed by somebody from the Sioux tribe. So they kind of justify him going around eating people's livers. This sick ass bastard. Man, they got a monument for this guy. Wait, here's a monument for this dude. This is a monument to this dude up in Wyoming. They got a monument to this dude. This is a monument up there in Wyoming. And they got the words. I want y'all to look at this. They're bragging about this dude. On the monument, John Jeremiah Liver Eating Johnson. Boy, they got a cannibal monument with the words liver eater on it. That's their boy. This is how sick these whites are. They made him a sheriff's deputy. He's a hero to white people. This is one of their heroes. They got liver eater. Shout out to Uncle Liver Eater. They're bragging about this asshole. Yeah? They got a monument to this dude, man. For a damn cannibal. Man, please. There's a whole bunch of them like that, dude. There was another one. Another dude, the Kentucky cannibal, Levi Boone Helm. That's another one. He was up here eating people, but he was eating white people, so they had to get him. He was going all around eating white people. The Kentucky cannibal. There's another one, Alfred Packer. The Colorado cannibal. They call him the Colorado cannibal. He was up here eating folks all in Colorado. They give him all these little cute names. Sitting up here eating folks. Y'all think it wasn't just Jeffrey Dahmer. They've been doing that shit. There's a whole bunch of them. Just going out here eating folks left and right. Man, we weren't doing none of that. Black folks, look, when we were running away on our foundational Black American family members, when we were leaving those plantations, black people knew how to live on roots. You know how to dig it. You go eat some roots. You go eat some leaves. You go eat vegetables. You know how to get berries and take berries with you. You know how to subside on vegetation, man. The fuck you gonna eat a motherfucker? You eat niggas, go dig you some roots and eat the root. That's gonna sustain you better than eating this nigga leg. You understand? See, this is why we gotta understand our history. Yeah, you never heard about our foundational Black American family members who were running away from plantations, living in the forest, living in the woods for months at a time. You never heard about them cannibalizing anybody. Even the Seminoles, when the Black Seminoles were out there in the swamps, they knew how to eat certain roots to sustain themselves. You want to eat no damn people? Fuck wrong with you? Hey, never know. You ain't supposed to eat no damn people. There's so many other things you can eat besides this nigga's standing right next to you. You just doing that. You regress back into that Neanderthal shit. And really, speaking of Neanderthal, that's why they say the Neanderthals died out, to be honest. Speaking of the damn Neanderthals, hold on. Hold on. That's one of the reasons why. That's one of the reasons why they said they were dying off. Hold on. They got all types of stories here. Hold on, look at this. This is what they were doing in them caves. The caves proves that the Neanderthals were cannibals. Of course they were. Yeah, that's why the Neanderthals, you know, the full-blooded Neanderthals, we still got some, but, you know, the Neanderthals died out to a certain degree because they ate each other. You understand? There's many articles about the Neanderthals and how they were cannibals. Look at this stuff. I can show you article after article. Neanderthals were cannibals. It's all over the place. So yeah, they'll regress back into that Neanderthal shit real fast, real quick. Yeah, it's all types of stories here. Cosmo Magazine. Why Neanderthals turned to cannibalism. Butchered corpses. Oh yeah, so that's their thing. That was their thing. But yeah, again, they project that stuff on us. They love projecting that stuff on us real heavy. By the way, don't forget, man, get my book, Foundation of Black American Race Beta. Click that link below. Get that book. Foundational Black American Race Beta. See, this is why we're going to start promoting our holiday and celebrating our holiday heavy so that we can have knowledge like this, so we can share knowledge with each other. It's very important that we share knowledge with each other, ladies and gentlemen. Because we all we got. In 2022, this is a very new year. Family, we're going to have to start riding for our own. We're going to have to start riding and being loyal to our own, ladies and gentlemen. Because as our good brother John Henry Clark says, we don't have no friends. Black folks keep running around here trying to find some damn coalition that does not exist. I've been putting up links today, family, showing black people how some of these different groups, some of these minority groups that you think you got a camaraderie with, I've been showing black folks how their scholars describe their relationship. Even their scholars are saying what we've been saying. Let me play y'all some clips. This is a guy, this is Mexican-American advocate. He's talking about the real history of the Black-Brown coalition. This is a Hispanic scholar. Now I want y'all to understand, listen to this. This is him telling you what we've been saying. Hold on.
A very small generation of middle-class Mexican-American advocates fought back. And this was an example of what some scholars have called the other white race strategy, of which Mexican-Americans for a large chunk of the 20th century, the advocates, sought to be claimed as white because all rights were conferred on you only if you were white. And so the longest time, Mexican-American advocates sought for this whiteness. And the example of going to your congressman and saying, what, they took us out of the white category, put us back. That was a poignant moment. We know that this other white strategy had its problems. We know the famous case in the 1950s in which a Mexican-American had been convicted of murder, and his lawyer said, well, there was not one Mexican-American on the jury. This was not a jury of his peers. And the judge said, well, Mexicans are white and the jury's all white, so what's your problem? Clearly an imperfect strategy. So by the 1950s, Mexican-American advocates began consciously and subconsciously sort of to adopt the increasingly successful strategies of African Americans. And they didn't have to toe this very delicate line of trying to be designated sufficiently enough minorities to take advantage of Brown versus Board of Education and protections for minorities without losing their whiteness. So they played this dance for a little bit. But then with the advent of clearly race-based answers to social problems, the Voting Rights Act, affirmative action, Mexican Americans by the late 60s and early 70s said, killed people of color too. Overnight, Mexican American advocates that fought to be white. The last part of the 20th century, hey, we're people of color, what are you talking about? I say this jokingly, and I've gotten some horrible email, but I don't say this to disparage Mexican Americans. I think it's quite brilliant myself. Because it's the system that's stupid. And your ability, can you really blame a person for trying to manipulate a system that's really done you no good?
Bam. Right there. They're telling you that this shit is the finesse. Come on, we're the Black and Brown Coalition Negroes. This is them out of their own mouths telling you what the finesse is. This is when they tell you, when a group of people, black people, when they tell you from their own mouths how the whole Black Brown Coalition is a big fucking finesse. And he's up here, I think is brilliant. He's still on code. We've been telling y'all this for years, that it's a big ass finesse. He told the truth. He's telling big facts. It's nothing but a big ass finesse. There's never been a coalition because they view themselves as white. There is no brown. No, there is no brown. They view themselves as white. They classify themselves as white. Brown is a myth that lives in the heads of black people. Whenever I see black people running around here talking about some goddamn black and brown, I want to smack them. This man right here, Mexican American advocate, just told y'all ain't no black and brown. We are white. And we saw a finesse. We saw an opportunity to leech off black folks, and that's what we do. We're people of color when it's convenient to get something that black folks fought for. That's why the black and brown bullshit comes out. I really wish y'all, for years I've been telling black folks, stop using black and brown. Stop using black and brown. Please stop using that. Family, do y'all understand? But some of these white Latino people, especially during the Jim Crow era, some of the vile shit they were doing. I put up a tweet about this guy right here. This guy was running things down there in Louisiana. Leander Perez. This guy right here, the boss of the Delta. This was a hardcore Latino white supremacist. Family, this dude right here was a hardcore Latino white supremacist. This dude down in Louisiana, he was a staunch segregationist. This man sat here and created all types of policies to keep black people disenfranchised. He would give speeches and mobilize Klan groups against black people. Black people would get attacked because of this man. This man famously said that, and I put the quote up, the best way to hate a nigger is to hate him before he's born. You know how cold that is? Google that. This dude said that. While we're sitting up here, black folks, putting our lives on the line, fighting for everybody, they're sitting up here saying some bullshit like that. The best way to hate a nigger is to hate him before he's born. You understand? That's the coalition right there. Ain't no coalition. Now, there's some individual people that you can be cool with, but when it comes to groups, operating as groups, everybody operates against us. Now, we as foundational Black Americans, we are circling our wagons and solidifying our culture. This is why it's important for us to designate who we are and then designate our culture. We determine what our culture is going to be. Our culture is oftentimes given to us by other people. This is why it's very important for us to establish what our culture is going to be. And when I see Negroes running around here talking about stop Asian hate, when I see Negroes saying that, boy, you need to stop too. Because there's another Asian woman. I want to play this clip too. This Asian woman here talking about some of the important civil rights cases that the Asians fought, not against white supremacy. Because see, what they'll do the Jedi mind trick. They'll say, well, Racism goes all, there's all types of racism. Asian Americans, we face racism. There was a landmark case down in Mississippi where Asians felt, our civil rights were violated. No. Y'all didn't fight for the right to eradicate racism. They fought for the right to just keep practicing racism against black people and let them join the white people in practicing the racism. You see, they don't tell you all the story. Asians have always come over here to fight with white supremacists against us. So it's never, hey, don't be racist. No, racism shouldn't have a place anywhere here. No, racism is fine just as long as it's the niggas. And I'll help you with the niggas. Just leave me alone. That's what it's always been. And here's an Asian woman who's Chinese American explaining this. Listen, if you listen to them, let them talk, they'll tell you the truth. This is them telling the truth. Listen.
Who lived in the Mississippi Delta, for example, in the 1920s. By the way, this is the community that gave rise to the Supreme Court case Gonlam v. Rice, where Chinese Americans challenged the placement of their children in so-called colored schools, and because they wanted to be able to go to school with whites. And their argument, very dramatically, was we Chinese people, being pure Chinese, deserve protection from the contamination of blackness as much as you white students do.
Woo!
That's why we should be able to go to school with white students.
Let me play that again. Let me play that again. Let me play all the stop. Let me follow the stop Asian hate niggas. Let me play that again. This is what their group did. Hold on.
We Chinese people, being pure Chinese, deserve protection from the contamination of blackness as much as you white students do. That's why we should be able to go to school with white students. So they failed, but they sort of subverted the decision in the Supreme Court by just saying we refuse to go to school with black children, so we're going to form our own schools or go to religious schools, etc. Okay, so this was the community that gave rise to that case. And many of the grocers had married black women and had children who were biracial. And the white school boards, the white leaders in the town were quite explicit in the Mississippi Delta. They said, if you repudiate your black kin, we will allow you to come closer to whiteness. And that's what many of them did. Not all of them, but many of them did. And this was why they experienced the Chinese American community in the Delta significant social mobility, like up through World War II and just past.
There you go. So, man, the name of the game, all these other groups, family, the name of the game is the same. None of these groups come over here as camaraderie groups for us. They all come over, join with white people, and show them how much they can practice anti-black racism against us. I'm showing you them saying this from their own damn mouths. So y'all can't say, oh, you just being mean to them. I'm showing them telling you from their own mouths what their get down is. This is why 2022, it's going to be about us. This is an FBA year, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to be about us. We only got us and we're good enough. I want y'all to understand, we ain't got no goddamn allies anyway. We're good enough. We're more than enough. We can handle ours. We don't need anybody leeching on. They don't help us anyway. I don't know what you're holding on to. Nobody's helping us anyway. Be glad that we only got us. I'm glad we only got us. I don't like other people in our mix anyway. I wish black folks get off this bullshit where you think you got to have everybody else in your mix. You don't. We don't need everybody in our mix. FBA all day. We got to get everybody on code. And some of these non-FBA folks, not to disparage you, see, we got to check some of y'all because, see, a lot of y'all come in with the bullshit. A lot of y'all come in off code. A lot of y'all come in and you have more of a camaraderie with the Latinos and the Asians. You know how many of these Nigerian chicks and Ghanaian chicks are into all of that Korean anime bullshit? You say something about a Korean or an Asian, they try to jump on you. The Jollof divestment wig wearers. I'm not going to beat up on them tonight, but y'all better get on code and get with the business if y'all come around us. Because we're circling them wagons. and everybody can get it. You understand? Y'all better get on code with it, man, and better start handling business. We can tell, see, a lot of people hate now that we know who's FBA, who's not FBA. We can just kind of feel your spirit. We can feel your spirit and see if you FBA or you're not FBA. See, the trick of the white supremacists for years, they've been able to get non-FBA people and put them among us to neutralize a lot of stuff that we got going on. Now we are seeing the con for what it is. So now we can identify people who are not FBA. So the white supremacists, boy, they like, oh shit. Uh-oh. So now they're kind of struggling. So now they're struggling to get their coons together. They're struggling to get their coons together. I put up a video on my social media, guys, of a fight it was at some game, Pittsburgh versus Michigan something. And it was a brother fighting this white man. And the brother's clearly non-FBA. This is a non-FBA brother. You can tell he's non-FBA. And just by the way he was fighting, because he got washed by this damn white supremacist suspect. So the white man washed this nigga. This Negro is doing all of these goofy ass gestures to stall. I want y'all to look at this. Now, this is what you don't do in a fight. And then you can tell this nigga right here is non-FBA. All right? I want y'all to look at this. This is not an FBA dude right here. I can tell. Look at all the stalling gestures this dude is doing in the fight. All right? Look at all this old goofy shit he's doing. Hold on. Okay, nigga.
Put your hands on me. Dude, fucking put your hands on me.
Brother, get up and get washed again. Now look at this. Lord. Negro family. Now listen. Now this Negro is up here doing all of this. He's not one of us. All right. This is not one of ours. He gonna get smushed in the face by this white man and gonna start doing all of these fake athletic. Hold my shit now. Hold my shit, nigga. Oh, stop. All this stalling. Oh, nigga. He doing all this stalling. That was a nigga stalling. Then gonna run up to the white man doing all of these kissing gestures. Somebody said he's Haitian. Or kissing his hand. And then miss. Man, stop all that and fight, nigga. All that old... stretching. I'm gonna get this white man. Venus and Serena on his ass. Do some tennis. You gonna get it. Nigga, stop. Nigga, stop. All that old stalling. Gonna let this goofy ass white man wash you. Nigga, whatever tribe you are from back home in the motherland, nigga, they should disown your ass. The tribe should disown you. Now, let me show you how some FBA cats get down. Now, this was at a mall in Jersey at the Cherry Hill Mall. Now, these brothers got some FBA spirit. There was a couple of suspected white supremacists called somebody a nigga up in there. And it was a white man and his son. They allegedly called somebody a nigga. And boy, they got Boy, they got some hands and feet on them. Hold on. And by the way, YouTube, this is for educational purposes. I'm not trying to promote violence, YouTube. I'm just showing for educational purposes.
Now you want to say it. Yeah, something else. Stop hiding, Pop.
They giving it to him.
They taking it.
So yeah, they getting that work on it.
Yeah, it's a one. It's a one. Yeah, it's a one. It's a one. It's a one. It's a one.
All right, so there's, yeah. And I'm showing this for educational purposes, YouTube. I'm showing for educational purposes. Yeah. Somebody say it looked like the same white man. And there was another fight. This was in Brazil. Looked like some people were visiting Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, at a Hilton. And it was a white couple harassing this brother. From what I understand, the backstory that I heard, I don't know the accuracy of it, but from the backstory, the black man, he got in line before them and they got upset, but I think he was, this is what the person, I saw the video from, the black dude was allegedly a gold member or whatever, and they gave him preferential treatment, and then this white couple started tripping out, and then the white woman kind of ran up on this brother. Now, I want y'all to check this. This is funny. Hold on. Now, this brother looked like he's from the Bay. The brother with the dreads, he looked like a Bay Area cat. Hold on.
Y'all haven't de-escalated the situation because y'all...
And there's a queen in the background, and there's a black queen who's filming it. He's doing commentary as the queen. Hold on.
She's still right there, still talking. Y'all supposed to separate the party. No. Hey! Oh my God. Oh. So he did it. Yep, you got it. Yep, I get it. It's all on camera. This is all on camera.
Now hold on. Now the brother, is that brother from the Bay? I'm getting Bay Area vibes from that brother. And shout out to the queen. The queen is on code too. Shout out to the queen. Yeah, I'm contrasting him, showing you the difference here. Now, that was the foundational black American brother. Wasn't a lot of words. Wasn't all of that, all of that stalling. No. And I feel like this brother's from the Bay because that was kind of the way he knocked the dude out was some player shit. Because the woman attacked him, then he knocked out the dude. That's basically saying, hey, nigga, I'm going to knock you out because you can't control your hoe. I'm getting East Oakland vibes from this nigga. He looked like one of them East Oakland niggas. I'm really getting some Oakland vibes off this dude. Like, nigga, you can't control your bitch, nigga. I'm going to knock you out because you can't control your bitch. That's some East Oakland shit. That's some shit an Oakland nigga do. Knock the nigga out because your hoe is out of line. I'm getting some Oakland vibes from this dude. So, knocked old dude out. He's out. He's down for the count. But the queen, the queen is still talking shit. Hold on.
He touched him.
Let me take it back. I'll take it back. Somebody want to... Hold on. I'll take it back. Hold on.
No.
Hey!
Oh my God. Oh. So he did it. Yep, you got it. Yep, I get it. It's all on camera. This is all on camera. He touched him. He's out, by the way. Yeah. She touched him. It's all on camera. Everything is camera. Everything is on camera. Everything is on camera.
And the queen is on code too. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yes, everything is on camera. Everything is on camera. They didn't de-escalate the situation by moving the parties away. They still let her be right there. Why y'all still get her? Get her under. Where is y'all security? Get her under control. Yeah, oh my God. I don't understand this.
Yeah, that was an old school brother too. The dude, that's an old school player right there. That dude's probably in his 50s. That's one of them OGs. So this dude looked like one of these OG players. Hold on.
Get her under control. Yeah, oh my God. I don't understand this. This is crazy. Where's y'all security? No, because this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. And y'all.
This queen is hilarious. And look, she kind of tried to run up on that queen, and that queen let her know that's not what you're going to do. She tried to run up on that queen, and the queen let her know real quick that queen is on code. Shout out to him. And he let her know real quick, hold on.
It's unacceptable. And y'all still haven't restrained her. Don't come over here, baby girl. Baby girl, I'm not him. Hold on, because I'll grab her right by the neck. Girl, I'm not him. But they need to restrain her. It's not us. We're not.
And she backed up too. You notice she backed her ass up too. When that queen let her look, she backed her ass up now. All right. You see how fast she backed up? She backed up.
I need a groupie.
All right. Okay. Nigga. She thought she was gonna try to pull that on that queen. Oh, that queen. Oh no, I'm not him, bitch. I beat your ass. He's gonna knock out your dude, but bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. She didn't run up on that punk. She knew not to run up on that damn punk. That punk let her know what it was gonna be, and she got the message, and she backed her ass right on up, didn't she? No, she wasn't about to play that game. Yeah, she ain't that out of control. Yeah, she out of control, but she ain't that. She wasn't gonna run up on that damn punk though. You saw that? Yeah, all that hold me back, hold me. She wasn't about to run up on that damn queen. Yeah, it was like that queen let her know, bitch, I am not him. Bitch, I would grab you by your neck. Man. Oh, Lord, that was funny. Oh, yeah, the queens, them queens, they don't mind fighting a chick now. The dude was a gentleman about it. That queen is like, no, I'm a bigger bitch than you. I'm going to come on, no, we getting down. That queen is like, what's up, boy? What's on mommy's car? I don't know. Is it broken? Okay, go in there with mom. Go in there with mom. My kids are tripping. Okay. But yeah, that was funny. But yeah, I'm just showing you the different fighting styles. The different fighting styles that go on. Now, did y'all hear about, speaking of our immigrant family, this brother who went on a goddamn hunting trip with these suspected white supremacists. This brother here, he went on a hunting trip. This brother, Peter Spencer, he's a Jamaican immigrant. This brother here, up there in Pennsylvania, he was shot 9 times, and the men with him claimed that they were acting in self-defense. He went on a hunting trip with 5 white men. Dude, listen, let me talk to my immigrant family. Listen. And let me tell you something. A lot of y'all who sat up here caping for Kyle Rittenhouse, let me talk to you niggas. A lot of y'all sat up here caping for Kyle Rittenhouse. A lot of y'all said, there was some Negroes, especially a lot of these non-FBA niggas, sitting up here talking about, well, Kyle Rittenhouse, he didn't do nothing wrong. That was self-defense. Why we worried about Kyle Rittenhouse? This with white people, this white on white crime. why black folk got to concern themselves with Kyle Rittenhouse. A lot of y'all Negroes were saying that. This ain't got nothing to do with us. And this right here shows you that it does have something to do with us. Because with Kyle Rittenhouse, what they were doing was using that as a precedent setter. They were using the Kyle Rittenhouse case, as they do many cases, to set a precedent for common law. The precedent was a white person can take a black person somewhere, or anybody somewhere, a black person or somebody who sympathizes with a black person. They can take them somewhere and isolate them and kill them and just say, hey, it was self-defense. This black person did something to me. I felt that I was in danger. Yes, I'm not a cop. I'm just a good old white person with a gun. This black person was aggressive towards me, and I had to shoot him in self-defense. That's the Kyle Rittenhouse effect. And this happened right after the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. This is what they've been waiting for. This is how it affects us. So they got this dude planned and plotted to get this nigga in the woods by himself and lynched him. They lynched this dude. And I've seen some names thrown around about the main suspected white supremacists who invited him. But the thing is, the family and all of these people, y'all not letting us know who these people are. So y'all need to let us know who the suspects are. Black families out here, y'all so busy throwing up a damn GoFundMe trying to capitalize off the murder of your people. Y'all don't want to get no damn justice. Y'all need to be letting us know who these white supremacists are, where they live, where they work, what they look like. Y'all need to be on top of this shit. You live in these little rural areas. We don't know. When we try to do investigations, a lot of times the police, they start protecting these people. Y'all need to let us know. Y'all get your head out your asses. Let us, they're not showing, man, they're not showing their faces. This is where the family and all these people come in. You should know something about who these people are. If your family member knew them well enough to go on a hunting trip with them, you should know something about them. You should know a little bit of something about these folks. Man, they took this dude in the woods and they targeted him specifically because they knew they could not play no shit like that with us. No foundational black American. They know good and well we ain't going in the woods with their ass. Do you understand me? They know foundational black Americans are not about to go in the woods with none of them. If a white supremacist suspect sit up and tell us, hey man, let's go on a hunting trip, we're going to be like, man, get the hell out of my face. They butted him up. And let me tell you something. I bet they were telling him, hey man, you ain't like those others. Hey man, you're one of the good ones. You ain't like these foundational black Americans. Well, yeah, you hard working, man. Your people, y'all come over and y'all work so hard. I bet he was buttering, them white supremacists was buttering that dude up for him to feel that comfortable walking into an obvious trap like that. Let me talk to my non-FBA people. See, y'all better stop going for that game that they run on you. They sit up here and tell you how much they like you more than us and all that. And y'all sit up here letting your ego eat that bullshit up. And they're setting you up for a downfall. I know they were telling him that. They were buttering that dude up, telling him that bullshit. You understand? Because they know they can't play that game with us. But that's a very tragic story all the way around. Yeah, we're not going in the woods with them. They know how we get down. I saw a very interesting TikTok about this white dude talking about how there really wasn't no racism between 1975 and 1989. Look at this right here. And he got his hat on backwards. Look at this. I want y'all to analyze this. Let me talk to all of my Gen X. I guess that's the Generation X. Is that Generation X? Those of us who grew up between 75 and 89. Hold on. Listen to this.
Gen X. How did you guys do it? How did you stay out of the generational hate war?
We didn't stay out of it. It was just never an issue with us. Anybody born between like 75 and 89, you automatically started going to school with multicultures. So it was never an issue for us. White, black, and brown, we was holding it down since day one. We never looked at people as color and stuff like that. If we didn't like somebody, it's probably because they were just an asshole. Also, social media destroyed y'all's lives. All you younger folks, it just destroyed y'all's lives. They just promote hate and racism every single day, and it's starting to divide everybody. See, we didn't have technology like that. When I was in middle school and high school, we had pagers and shit. So, I mean, you wasn't texting racist shit on that. Yeah, we had the news and stuff, but we didn't watch the news. We was kids. We was outside. We was also not raised to be pussies and offended by everything. If somebody didn't like you, your mom would be like, quit being a bitch and go find somebody else to kick it with. And we did. It was the greatest era ever. Like, we never knew so much about racism till now.
Okay. Now, what he's saying is horse shit. What he's saying is horse shit. Let me translate what he's saying. Okay. We're my folks who grew up between 75 and 89. Who went to school between 75 and 89. Me, I was one of those people. Listen, we're my folks who grew up between 75 and 89. Well, y'all were going to school, y'all were in school. No, let me tell you what was different between 75 and 89. Let me tell you what was different between 75 and 89. The racism was different. The thing is, they weren't as overt with their racism because we would whoop your damn ass between 75 and 89. Do you feel me? We would whoop your ass on site with the quickness, no questions. 75 and 89 was ass whooping time for a white supremacist. You didn't have your white buddies running around saying nigga this and nigga that, hey my nigga. We didn't play like that between 75 and 89. We're my 75 and 89 folks. Y'all know white boys didn't play that bullshit with us. We had the little white homies in the hood. We had a couple of them and they knew how to act too, didn't they? We had little white Mike and all these people who didn't run out to the suburbs. They might not have had enough money for the suburbs. Little white Mike had some act right. He knew not to talk that stupid shit. Back 75, 89, asses would get whooped real fast. White folks got act right around us at that time. We didn't play games with them, dude. It was on sight. We weren't really marching back then. We did all the marching in the 60s. 75, 89 wasn't no marches. We really didn't march. We handled that right there. It's going down right here, nigga. It's going down right here. We're going to handle this right now. Ain't nobody about to text and no. It's on site. That's why, y'all, we didn't see, the racism was there. Y'all just kept that shit in your home where y'all supposed to. Y'all didn't practice that shit on us like that because we didn't play games with you like that. We didn't play games with you at all. It would be on site. Niggas were not pussies. Do you understand? Niggas weren't pussies. And let me take it another step further. You didn't have a bunch of immigrants who were used to kissing white ass over here at that time like that, who come of age like that. Now, I'm not disparaging my immigrant brothers and sisters. I'm not disparaging you. But we didn't have all of that white ass kissing that a lot of immigrants brought with them. Can we keep it a buck? A lot of them immigrants came over kissing white ass. We weren't doing that. We were not doing that. You get your ass toe up. You call a black person a nigga between 75 and 89, that was almost a guaranteed ass whooping. You dig? And our parents would go tell us to whoop their asses. Between 75 and 89, we couldn't go home and say, hey, mama, white boy called me a nigga. Well, what did you do? Go back out there and handle that. You dig? Yeah, we all had a little white Mike. Every neighborhood had little white Mike, a little white boy in the neighborhood, a couple of white boys, and they had some act right. White Mike knew how to act. That's why that dude right there talking all that wiggish, he got a little black scent. Yeah, but he ain't telling the whole truth. The racism was there, but y'all had to keep that shit in the house. Y'all had to go in the house and keep that shit among yourselves. Y'all couldn't bring it in the streets back then. 75 and 89, we grew up around that era. Those of us who grew up around that era, you know what I'm talking about. It was on and popping. It was some bullshit popping. Yeah? Nigga, the Rodney King thing happened right after that. A couple of years after 89. That's when why you think the Rodney King riot popped off? Rodney King didn't get killed. Remember, Rodney King just got beat up on camera. Out here, I mean, these days, black folks get shot almost every other day on camera and niggas out here marching. Rodney King got beat up on camera and nigga, we gave the city a bill for $1 billion. The city of Los Angeles got a bill for $1 billion. It was $1 billion worth of damage done. Yeah, they didn't want them problems no more. That's why. That's why they got some damn act right. Yeah, that's why. So if we gave a city a $1 billion bill, what do you think we do to the average white supremacist on the street? If we gave a whole city a $1 billion bill, what do you think would happen to the average white supremacist who try to say something slick around that time? Get a foot in your ass. Huh? We didn't play games at all like that. Yeah, so that's why it would. Yeah, we made the white supremacists get some damn act right. You're not about to come out here with that dumb shit. You're not about to come out here talking stupid. Yeah? So that's what it was. Now, again, in our society, we do have some FBA coons. But our FBA coons are just so ineffective. See, that's the thing. They're so obviously coons. They're non-effective. A lot of the FBA coons are really just not, like Jesse Lee Peterson. I talked about him the other day. Jesse's out here chasing Bussy. So, yeah, they're not really that effective. And now they're rolling around with FBA coon Herschel Walker. Now, FBA coons are usually a joke. You understand? Because we see them. We've been knowing they were coons. So when they come around, it's like, oh, Lord, who sent this nigga? You understand? Where a lot of the foreign ones, see, they'll sit up and they'll kind of mimic and mock our vernacular, and they'll sit up here and use our words, and they come out of nowhere. We don't know their background. See, that's another thing. See, them getting foreign coons, they're like, okay, all of a sudden we're chilling, we're having a meeting, and then some black person pops up and talk like us. We don't know where they came from, but if he's talking like us, we'll welcome them in. We don't know that they came from another country somewhere. They've been vetted and molded in order to get into our circles and undermine us. So then we get undermined by them. Whereas a domestic coon, like Diamond and Silk, like, oh, I know your mama. Your mama and your grandma's a coon. Your dad's a coon, so yeah, they didn't raise you as coon. So when they come around, we already know. Like Herschel Walker. So now they're trying to parade Herschel Walker around. He's so ineffective. Herschel Walker, because they're running out of coons. So they're running out of effective coons because so many of us are on code right now. They're having trouble getting coons to toe the line. The foreign coons, we're calling them out. The minute they come around us and we try to check their paperwork and we see, hey, nigga, where you from? The fact that I ain't got no background on you, nigga, something ain't right. I smell Jollof, nigga. I smell some Bammy. I smell oxtails, nigga. So who are you? We already know. When people come around, we studying niggas now. Hold on, nigga. You want to be the leader of some organization and you want to speak on reparations? Hold on, your hairline looks a little funny, brother. Where are you from? You understand? So we starting to look at cats and we're calling them out. So now they're trying to get some FBA coons and it just doesn't work. They're trying to get people like Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker, this dude still think he's on a plantation. He's so ineffective. They were clowning this guy earlier today. He was trending because the Republicans got him out here. I think he's running against somebody in Georgia, right? And they done gave Herschel some talking points. Herschel can't even cobble together a coherent sentence, guys. This nigga his cooning is so bad. It's so obvious. It's so ineffective. But listen to Herschel. You almost feel bad for him. He's struggling to coon it up. Hold on. This is your boy Herschel. Hold on. Listen, can y'all make out what Herschel is trying to say? I can't even understand what Herschel is trying to say. What is he saying? Hold on.
Build Back Better. You probably want something written, like Lord of the Land, stating all men are to be treated equal. Oh, we have the Constitution. So you probably want to put people in charge who's going to fight for the Constitution. Just thinking. God bless you. Build Back Better.
What? What is he? What is he talking about? What is Herschel talking about? What is? I don't even know what he's talking about. What they did, they didn't gave somebody said he got CTE. Family, they didn't gave him some talking points, and he's too coonish to even say the talking points right, and it don't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. Well, Build Back Better is about the government and critical race theory. Oh, but if you go down to Winn-Dixie to get you some cup of noodles, is that a theory? I'm just saying. Y'all have a good day now. What? He just saying incoherent shit that don't make no sense. None of it makes sense. When we talk about affirmative action, what is affirmative action when it comes to the Constitution of the United States? Oh, that means giving handouts to peoples who ain't got no hands. Y'all have a good day now. So he's trying to use those racist dog whistles, but he don't know how to use them. And he's putting them all in these weird contexts. See, they give him certain where I can see the people at the little white supremacist think tanks. Okay, you gotta use the word critical race theory. Okay, just whatever you do, use affirmative action. We're gonna use welfare. Use woke, okay? They gave him a bunch of words to use, so now he's using them all out of context. Listen, I'm Herschel Walker. All of these people out here want an education, but sometimes they don't want to work hard for it. Oh, is the woke movement the same thing as going down to CVS Pharmacy, getting some alcohol and burning it and putting it in an open wound? If it burned, it's going to burn until you go back to sleep. I'm just saying. Have a good day. What the fuck? What, nigga? That's why when they had this nigga in the when the Democrats brought that nigga, when they let him get his ass in the reparations conversation, everybody involved were delegitimized. They all needed to be called out for letting this Sambo even get in the conversation. Oh. Hey, peoples. I heard y'all out here talking about buck breaking. If you gonna talk about buck breaking, how many bucks you gonna make? Oh, you gotta get welfare first. If you trying to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, fee, fi, fo, thumb. I feel that I is dumb. I'm just saying. Have a good day now. That was painful to watch. Oh, God. I almost feel sorry for this nigga to a certain, but still, he's conscious enough to be a coon. So he knows he's cooning. All right, good Lord, man. Damn. And that's sad. That kind of cooning, we can't even get mad at this nigga because it's so obvious that he's cooning at this point. And you can blame it on CTE. No, you can. That ain't all CTE. No, CTE stands for cooning, tap dancing, and eating butter biscuits, nigga. That's what CTE stands for. Cooning, tap dancing, and eating butter biscuits. That ain't CTE. Yeah, it's CTE, all right. Just don't blame it on football injury, nigga. That's cooning and tap dancing and eating biscuits. Yeah, that's the CTE. Don't just blame it on CTE. He knows he's cooning, all right? Let's stop it. This nigga knows he's cooning. It ain't all just the football injuries. I think it was some cooning going on before the football injuries, dude. All right? So let's stop it. Let's not give him an out like that. This nigga know he's cooning, all right? Let's stop that. Lord, anyway, yo, let me get out of here, man. Let me go in here and tend to my wife and tend to my kids. Man, we had a great conversation on tonight's broadcast, man. Thank everybody for tuning in. And again, family, all this year, remember, we have to promote our foundational Black American holiday, December 21st, Aratasusi. Aratasusi, that is our holiday, Arise Day, December 24th. We need to promote this all this year. We're going to give books. We're going to gift books to the family all around the country, December 24th on our holiday, paying homage to our rebel warriors who rose up out of slavery around the Christmas, December holiday era. Aratasusi. That is our holiday, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to spread the word. We're going to do our thing. Don't forget to get the book, Foundational Black American Race Baiter. Click the link below. Also, go to OpenSea. We still have some of those NFTs available. I'm going to have some more NFTs available right there. You can click there to get the NFT collection. We got a sale on the NFTs, ladies and gentlemen. Again, get the book Foundational Black American Race Baiter. I'm going to holler at you guys later this week. Y'all have a very prosperous week. Papi Akute and Lila Vuve to the family.